so this is our mallet technique video. So I'm just going to explain how to hold the mallet, how to do a good stroke, and anything else that might come up. So many of you know this already, but we're just going to go over it. Make sure if you know it, you still check it out, because you might have been taught a technique that's slightly different. I'm doing a front fulcrum technique. I don't know if you learned that or not, but we're all just gonna get on the same page. So, as you see, here's my hand. Now, the mallet is gonna rest on the first line of my pointer finger. So that line here is gonna go right on that line. Your thumb is gonna go right across. It's gonna kind of hug it a little bit, be a little parallel in gripping it, and make sure that your pointer finger wraps around. It shouldn't be like this. It should be actually gripping it. This is your fulcrum, and it's the reason why you can actually hit the instrument or use the mallet in general. This is holding everything together, so make sure that that's okay. And you're just gonna naturally wrap the rest of your fingers around the mallet. So notice how my middle finger is kind of not all the way around. It kind of holds it in place, which is why it doesn't go all the way around. Your pinky finger wraps all the way around. Your ring finger almost does. So this is what it should look like on the inside. And then just make sure that there's not a lot of it hanging out. It should be like maybe that much. You don't want it to be like this. That'll get in the way of a lot of playing. So just make sure your fulcrum's like this, and there shouldn't be space between your thumb and your finger, because if there is, that means you're pushing your thumb up into like an arch, but it should be flat, should be nice like this. So that's how you hold the mallet. Now we're going to talk about actually using it, I suppose. Hopefully you can see all this. But when you push the mallet down, you don't want to think of hitting the keyboard keys. You want to think of playing through it. I wouldn't think of this. I think of this. Like, as if you're trying to smash right on through. Just go on in there. Beat this pillow pet. And by the way, the reason I'm using a pillow is because that's actually the best way to gain chops, because it mimics the keyboard instruments in a sense that there's no rebound. You have to create your own rebound. And the pillow kind of makes it even harder for you to make rebound. So you have to put in that extra bit of effort, and it's really good for getting chops and practicing speed, and just highly recommend it, especially since most of you probably don't have an instrument at home. This will help you. So what you would do is you go up to the board, you have your fulcrum together, your line's good. Now, if we're at this height, that'd be fine, but we're going to try using all our exercises at about 12 inches. So just have your hand here, and then just a little pop. And see that angle between your hand and your arm? It should be there. It shouldn't be flat. It should be just like a little pop, a little bit of a dip. Now, if we were doing 15, it'd be like straight up, but we're just going to stick with 12 for now. Okay, so I'm going to move back a little bit. We talked about playing through the instrument, so you definitely want to push all the way through. Imagine you're swanning a fly or holding a pillow pet, and the motion of your hand should be as if you're knocking on a door. If you're knocking on a door, you wouldn't go like, because no one's going to hear you. You have to go put some power into it, so that someone can hear you. That applies for the mallet as well. So make sure you have that motion and apply it. So when you're doing a stroke, you want to do oh shoot, sorry, some paper fell. Yes, you're putting energy into pushing it down into the keyboard. That's right. But once you hit it well, you have to pull it back up. And when I say that, I don't mean to try to don't cheat your stroke. Don't decide not to play through the instrument so that you can pick it up. Don't go stopping it. You have to let it go through and then let it come back up. Go through and then pick it back up. If it looks like this, then that means you're stopping. You have to make sure that's a good, hearty stroke. The instruments are made for you to hit them. They'll be okay. So make sure you go right into it. Sorry, I was about to sneeze. But yes, so the main takeaway, one of the definitely most important concepts of using your mallet, play through the bar and take the same amount of energy that it took to push into the bar to pull it back up. And that's for 12 inches. If you were going to be at a lower dynamic, like say you're playing mezzo piano, you wouldn't need that arch. You're playing around here. Now, just because you're playing lower does not mean that you're playing softer, because this is off the pillow, but look how much sound I can get from playing low. I will say you might have to use your fulcrum a little bit tighter, but you shouldn't be having tense fingers or tense wrists or anything like that. You just need a little bit more grip in your fulcrum to control it. But yeah, just because it's lower doesn't mean you can hit it well. It may be quieter, but it's going to be bad sound quality. You can still make it heard, and that's me doing 3 inches right now. So you can hear it. I don't know. I'm not sure how in depth we'll go into this, but hopefully you guys can get into the habit of playing into the instrument. So once we get that, you'll pretty much be good. Don't be afraid to hit the instrument. Don't be afraid of wrong notes. I'd rather you hit the instrument confidently than hit it weak and look gross and wimpy. That doesn't count. And they'll call you out for that too. Always play confidently. It's better to play confidently than to play in fear, because that's no fun. But yes. If you have any questions, just come to me, or if there was something that wasn't very clear or sounded confusing, all that good stuff.